Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Emerald Coast. It is officially year 6 in our 10-year gameplay. We are more than halfway over our 10-year gameplay at this point, and wow, it has taken quite a long time, but I don't like flying through and skipping a whole bunch of stuff. I like to keep you guys up to speed on the goings-on here on the farm. We are going to head over here and spray some herbicide on our barley fields. Weeds have taken over here on the Emerald Coast. We've got to nip this in the bud for things like, well, look at this guy over here. I mean, he's only planted half of his field because of the weeds. Pretty atrocious. I mean, all of that is unplanted. Right there. Okay, now there it's planted. He's only bothered planting half his field because of the weeds. I don't know why they're not spraying, but at any rate, we're going to take care of these weeds. We're going to take care of them today. Poplar is coming along quite nice. Made pretty good money on those bales last year. I think this year we're going to chip them. Filling those poplar bales were pretty involving. I think we're just going to chip them this year. Spray these fields, get these weeds knocked down. The herbicide doesn't seem to affect the barley when it's this young. It seems to bounce back pretty good. It is almost guaranteed to be totally terminal for the undesirables. Lower the boom here. We don't want a whole ton of overspray. Don't have a lot of wind today, but just in case the wind kicks up, don't want a whole lot of overspray into other fields. Oh, I had to put the mic down there for a little bit. I had a massive sneeze. Want you guys getting your ears blown out there. So Doughboy called me up the other day. He was not very happy. I let him spray the truck down. Then he goes and drives up this access road. A whole ton of mud. Seems to always be on the road here. Before he got out to the main road, his truck was caked. Seemed to say that he would much prefer to have, well, not cleaned the truck at all than to have had to clean it twice. But we did fare pretty darn well with those pigs. Didn't want to keep them for 2 years. They kind of got lost in the shuffle. We were so busy the winter before last, I'd say. They did bring a nice penny. New pigs are, well, they're kind of on a diet. They're not really eating near as much as the old pigs were, which we didn't really think they would. Kind of knew that the old pigs were kind of eating us out of house and home. Every day they were eating into their potential profits. I think I have the GPS unit in this particular tractor. Nope, I don't think I do. Say we could just turn that on and sit back and relax, but we're going to have to actually pay attention on our spray job. The local Farm Bureau, they do not look very favorable upon overspray on these herbicides and liquid and solid fertilizer. They don't look too high upon that, so we got to pay attention and make sure that we don't spray too much off our field boundaries. I think what I'm going to do is just keep on heading south here. The sides of these two fields line up pretty good. We're just going to have to cut off the sprayer, get here to the boundary. Put it back on. There we are. So what have you guys been up to? Let me know in the comments. Y'all like our little role play last time? That works out good. Plan to bring Doughboy back for when we need to bring in some more steers for our beef yard. So we might bring in other special guests from time to time, as we maybe need additional help or just need other things done. Still need to plant our corn. We're going to be doing that probably over early and mid-spring. Cotton needs to be put in the ground. Still not quite warm enough as far as ground temperature goes. We'll probably be doing that over late spring. And we just need to keep up with these weeds. That. Going up the road. So it's kind of interesting with the free version of Farm Sim coming from the Epic Game Store. It seems that Giants has had a fair bit of problems with multiplayer. At least it seems like it. And skipping a little bit, where GPS would have come in handy. Just do our handy dandy compass down here. So, kind of lined up on that. So yeah, it seems like since Thursday, multiplayer has been a little sporadic, a little less consistent and reliable. In fact, being able to join multiplayer sessions. Guess it's possible that there's just a massive influx of players trying to get on multiplayer, and as a result, what I call matchmaking servers just are not able to keep up with the need. And it looks like they've basically implemented 2 additional matchmaking servers per zone in the meantime. We used to have 1 international server, 2 Germany servers, and then I believe a Central Europe server. And now we appear to have 3 international servers, 3 Central Germany servers, and 3 Central Europe servers. And all those servers just do matchmaking. So when you want to join a multiplayer session, you basically have to pick which matchmaking server you're going to connect to. Then once you connect to that matchmaking server, you'll see a list of all the servers using that matchmaking server to connect. You'll be able to make your selection and hopefully join to that server. With the advent of, I guess, FS19 going free on Epic for the last Thursday to this coming Thursday, it seems that the matchmaking servers have not been able to keep up. I think Giants has just tried to implement a few more just to keep up with the demand. But as a result, those longtime players that have been consistently playing on multiplayer really notice the issues trying to connect to those servers that we've been using pretty much trouble-free for many months to years. It would be interesting to see if there was any sort of numbers published on basically the number of copies, quote, sold on the Epic store over the last few days. I don't think they publish that kind of information, but it would be interesting to see that nonetheless. By spraying this field, we should be pretty much weed free for the duration of this crop. We shouldn't see any more weeds pop up in this particular field. Wanted to wait until we had our first crop growth to make sure that we didn't have any sort of conflict between fertilizing the field and herbiciding the field. Keep you up to date with what we have done off camera. So we took all of the manure that we had piled up at the cow farm, took that down to Razwood. We took all the sugar beets that we had in the storage buildings down to Razwood. So pretty much everything is down there at this point. I need to bring the pre-compost that it has made up and put it into the bins at some point, or the bunker. Of course, sold all of the compost that we had made up, and well, you can see what that has done to our bank account. We're also selling the pigs off. We're up close to we are at 3.9 million. We are pretty close to $4 million in the bank. I think I was looking the other day. If we want to buy all of the fields left on the map, I think that's only going to be about $2 million. Good, if we wanted to go ahead and pick up the 6-7 fields that are still remaining. We'll probably pick up 1 or 2 of those this game year. We haven't put any soybeans in the ground. Pretty sure that's what everyone else is going to be planting. Well, that is pretty much what everyone else has planted. You'll see the only fields that don't have growth on them are our fields. Here, this is where I told you the guy only planted half his field. Not really sure why that AI farmer only did that. Thought for sure maybe last year he planted more than that. Well, I'm just using the storyline that, well, he's just at a loss for weeds. Only bothered planting it in half of his field. He's, I guess, apparently leaving the rest of the field go just become weed ridden. Yeah, the goal for today is pretty simple. Spray our fields. We've got these 2 barley fields to spray. We've got the oat field behind the horse farm to spray. That is pretty much the job at hand. Messing a little bit over here. That up. Taking care of our cows today, taking care of our sheep, chickens, pigs, horses. All the animals are good. Oh, that's 71 degrees already. First day of spring, which is in effect first day of March. Let's check that forecast. High today of 78 possible. Tomorrow, a bit cooler. Next day, mid-70s. Rain on Wednesday. Possible rain on Wednesday. So I think, guys, we're just going to call it for a video today. Kind of short. Just spraying weeds. Not a lot going on. Not really feeling any sort of time lapse because, again, all we're going to do is we're just going to go from this field over to our oat field to spray some weeds. Come back, we'll probably be working on getting our corn planted. Getting that ready to rock and roll. Yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think of our 10-year gameplay on Emerald Coast now that we've moved into the second half of our 10-year attempt. You're in year 6. And if you don't know, this series started way back in Farm Sim 17. Started this series with a pickup truck and a chainsaw and not a buck in our bank account. And look at us now. $4 million in our bank account. Got a ton of machinery. We got a ton of land. And we could very easily buy out the rest of the farmers if we wanted to. Quite successful. Quite easy. I would say the compost has sure helped out a lot. Helped out indeed, but still. It's been a really fun journey, and I look forward to closing it out with 4 more game years of gameplay. And with Farm Sim 21 announced that it is going to be delayed at least till April of 2021. Not officially been canceled. News that I saw basically said that it was coming out in this year, which this year was a fiscal year. Means the year runs until March 2021. No, it's not going to be out Till that point, who knows? It might come out in May of 2021. Until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.